Thank you very much, Ayo. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Good morning, good afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name is Day, and I'm an social statistician at the Statistics Division of ESCAP, and I'm delighted to moderate the last session of the Asia Pacific World Statistics Day celebrations. As you have seen from the last session, since the start of the first World Statistics Day in 2010, and even earlier, actually, innovations have changed life and the way data and statistics are used to improve people's livelihoods. Not only that, the speed at which these innovations are developed is increasing exponentially. This is very exciting, but we should also make sure that these innovations, especially for data and statistics, are inclusive, transparent, and safe for everyone. One way to achieve that goal is to do our best to demystify data and ensure that we communicate data effectively to enable data and statistics inform policy and decision making. That's why I'm very excited to learn from countries, territories, and partners in our region on what they have been doing to demystify data for their stakeholders. We also want to hear from you. So we'll have a Menti meter again, because we really love Menti, which I'll put up for everyone to answer. So please bear with me just a little bit. Right, so the question is, what do you think makes data most powerful in influencing decisions? So you have to rank a top three, and I'm very, very excited actually to see what your ranking is. Please do join in and share your view through the Menti that we have here. So far, we have trust in the source as the top choice. And of course, it's very important to know which source the data and statistics are from before we actually move on and make a decisions or make changes or develop any new policies and programs, right? The data has to also be timely and relevant to the work that we're doing. Otherwise, they can, be classified as noise and might not be that useful. It's also important, and I'm glad simplicity and clarity shows up, because it is important to make sure we communicate the data and statistics very clearly, and if possible in simple terms, so that everyone, not just experts, can understand and use the data and statistics that are available. Just giving people a bit more time before we move on. Visualization is of course catching up, but it's also very important to sort of combine the top two in a way, not the top two, but the second and third choice in a way, to ensure that we have a mean to share data and statistics in ways that are more sort of acceptable or easily digestible for everyone. All right, I think we've got our winners. Trust by far is the top choice, and then we have timeliness and relevance, followed by simplicity and clarity as the top three. But that's not, to say that the visualization and personal stories behind the numbers are not important aspects as well. Thank you everyone for participating in this short Menti. So let me stop sharing. Let's move ahead with the next part of our session, which is a series of presentations from partners and countries in our regions. And we'll start here in Bangkok, where we're joined by Kun Hatay Chanuk Chin Opawat, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Deputy Director General of the National Statistical Office of Thailand, and she will present their innovative data cam initiative. Madam, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Can you share the slide, please?
Yes, I am doing that right now.
Thank you very much.
Please bear with me. It should show up.
Good morning, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever felt overwhelmed trying to make sense of statistical data? You are not alone. It is a great pleasure to welcome you today. We are excited to share the Thailand National Statistical Office initiative to unlock data accessibility and inspire the next generation. We live in a digital era surrounded by vast amount of data with immense potential. Yet, here the challenge, many still struggle to use this information effectively, leaving valuable data underutilized in policy making. Next slide, please. To address this, the National Statistical Office of Thailand proudly presents the NSO Data Camp, a program for university students over nation future workforce. We empower young minds to engage with data creatively and critically, recognizing it as essential for sustainable development. The program is open nationwide through competitive selection. The camp is built around three key objectives. First and foremost, we promote statistical data use for testing understanding of data's transformative power. Second, we develop analytical abilities, enhancing critical thinking and clear communication of insights. And finally, we prepare students for the workforce, building digital fluency and data skills essential for our data-driven world. Next slide, please. How do we achieve this? Through three dynamic components. Our first component is workshop trainings. Open data learn, open data sources, file formats, and API for analysis and visualization. Data security, master responsive data handling while protecting privacy. The second component focuses on digital tools, harness AI like ChatGPT and Gemini to analyze and present data effectively. Our third component is the hackathon event. Teams collaborate to create innovative solutions addressing real-world challenges. What can participants expect? Appreciate data's value and access information reliability. Analysis data and communication finding for evidence-based decisions. And apply statistical insight to lead and professional work. Rather than just telling you about this journey, let me show you. Please enjoy the video capturing the energy and transformative learning of NSO Data Camp. Can you share? Yes, please.
ค่ายนี้นะครับเป็นค่ายที่เราจะได้รับความรู้จากผู้เชี่ยวชาญจริงๆนะครับและเราจะได้รับประสบการณ์จริงๆและมีโปรเจกต์ให้ทำจริงๆนะครับ
ได้เจอเพื่อนใหม่อยู่คนละมหาลัยกันแล้วก็ได้แลกเปลี่ยนความคิดกับเพื่อนๆค่ะ
หลักๆเลยก็ได้ความรู้ในเรื่องของ Data ที่สามารถนำไปประยุกต์ใช้กับด้านต่างๆได้ครับ
ก็ขอขอบคุณสำนักงานสถิติแห่งชาตินะครับที่จัดค่ายนี้ขึ้นมานะครับสนุกมากๆนะครับ
ก่อนอื่นก็ต้องขอบคุณสำนักงานสถิติแห่งชาตินะครับที่ได้จัดกิจกรรมดีๆแบบนี้ให้กับนิสิตนักศึกษาทั่วประเทศนะครับก็ขอให้มีกิจกรรมดีๆแบบนี้ต่อไปได้เลยนะครับขอบคุณครับ
ก็กิจกรรมนี้เป็นกิจกรรมที่ดีมากๆเลยนะคะถ้าแบบว่าเรียนอยู่มหาวิทยาลัยสายสถิติหรือว่าสายไหนก็ตามก็มาสมัครค่ายนี้ก็ทำให้ได้ประสบการณ์มากขึ้นค่ะก็แนะนำให้มาสมัครค่ายกันเยอะๆนะคะ
So thank you, Dre.
Thank you, Madam, for sharing Thailand's very inspiring and innovative way to involve university students in understanding data and statistics. Next, we have Mr. Hisashi Kitahara, Director General for International Statistical Affairs, Office of the Director General for Policy Planning on Statistical Policy, Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications, Japan. And he will present on Japan's World Statistics Days initiative, particularly focusing on advocating statistics for all. Over to you, Mr. Kitahara.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear and see your slide.
Thank you. Hello and good morning and good evening from Tokyo, Japan. I'm Hisashi Kitahara, going to Japan, and I'm thank you very much for giving us such a great and happy opportunity to join the World Statistics Day and around the world in 24 hours. And as we go through an era where societies are increasingly driven by statistics and data, their importance cannot be overstated. In recent years, especially after COVID-19, we are more aware of how data plays an important role in decision making at every level. With public engagement in statistics and data, we can reinforce our efforts in data collection, and that will lead to high quality and more disaggregated data from various data sources. This engagement will provide a basis for empowerment of individuals and enrich datasets that can be used by policymakers. Today, I am pleased to share with you some of our initiatives in Japan aimed at raising awareness about the importance of statistics and data as a part of the celebration of the World Statistics Day. Let me begin with a forum in Tokyo. On coming December 4th, we will be hosting the World Statistics Day Forum 2025 in Tokyo. And this event will bring together a wide range of national and international stakeholders in the field of statistics, including ESCAP and NSOs from the Asia Pacific region. We will offering online streaming of the forum with the English-Japanese simultaneous interpretation, and we hope that everyone here from around the world will join us virtually in this event. Here is the program. The first part of the forum will feature a keynote speech by the United Nations Statistical Division, followed by discussion. And in the second part, representatives from national and regional governments in Japan will present their advanced initiatives on the use of statistical data. And for more information and registration form, please visit our website. We look forward to your participation. Okay, next slide, please. Secondly, our staff members are visiting universities, elementary schools, high schools across the country to deliver lectures on statistics and data. This initiative is intended to reach a diverse range of people, especially younger generations. The lectures cover various topics like importance of uh, statistics, SDGs, and gender. And we also take this opportunity to ask for cooperation with the population census 2025, conducted this year in Japan. Now I would like to share a video with you of a lecture at a high school, a lecture by Mr. Sokol Veko. He's the lecturer at the United Nations Statistical Institute for the Asia and the Pacific, or CIAP, located in Japan. CIAP is collaborating with us on these activities. Video, please.
2015, 10 years ago. I know many of you were very, very young, so you probably do not remember 2015. But 2015 was a very important year for the UN and member states in general. Let me just say that one of the main functions of the UN is for countries to come together and try to work to resolve common problems that we all face. So I know this is not relevant in the context of Japan, but globally this is a big problem. And it is the number one SDG. It's about eradicating poverty. And again, it's the same setup as we talked about earlier. There is the goal, there is the various targets, and then there are indicators. I think above all else, I think is becoming an informed citizen. Being informed and aware of what is going on is quite an important first step. And obviously, studying and then being active in that context as well is quite important. But as a person, it's about the small things that you can do around waste generation, around the way that you use products in your life that contributes to the SDGs, and then linked to that is being informed, being aware, and understanding that, we live in a very nice, comfortable environment, usually here in Japan, but there are many challenges in the world, and being aware of those can help. Konnichiwa and hello. Thank you very much for having us here today at this school for sharing some of the knowledge around the SDG indicators. We very much enjoyed interacting with the students and the staff to see what the SDGs mean for the local community here in Niigata Prefecture. So thank you for having us again, and we very much look forward to coming back and visiting the city.
Thank you for uploading the video. Okay, this was a video footage of the lecture by Mr. Sokol Veko at Caribou High School. Thank you, Sokol. And the next slide. Lastly, we are honored to host a meeting of the interagency and expert group of SDG indicators, or ISDGs, established under the United Nations Statistical Commission. This meeting will be held in Kitakyushu, Japan. It will be a great opportunity to raise awareness about the SDG indicators and monitoring. among a wide audience in my country. Okay. If you are interested in our World Statistics Day Forum 2025 in Japan or anything of our initiatives, please visit our website for more information. That concludes my presentation. I wish you a successful celebration of the World Statistics Day. Thank you very much for the attention. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kitahara, for the very insightful presentation and video. Very, very delightful indeed. Next, we have Mr. Basa Dojhdamba, Director of Public Relations Division, Integrated Statistics Department of Mongolia, who will share with us some initiative on engagement with data and statistics produced by the NSO of Mongolia. Over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear and see your slide.
Okay. Good afternoon and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Happy World Statistics Day. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce the brief overview of the production of the national statistics of Mongolia. Our National Statistical Organization, Ministry of Mongolia, we categorize all statistical users into 5 different groups. We call it the persona. We aim to prepare and deliver statistical information tailored to each persona, such as the governmental agencies, the business owners, international organizations, and students, scientists, professors, and also citizens. These 5 personas are the target of the users. So, in particular, we provide more detailed statistical data and statistical information to government agencies, especially for the decision makers, what they need. We provide more detailed statistical information. And also we prepare and deliver the requested information to the private sector and also international organizations, then students and other personas. You can see there's the data dissemination channels that currently we are using these channels to make statistical information the more understandable and accessible to the users. Our National Statistical Office, our organization, organized training session every year based on their needs, what they need. Currently, National Statistical Office of Mongolia, we are developing an online training platform to ensure the broader and easier access to information, and also using this dissemination channels, Facebook page and Twitter, Viber, Telegram, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. So, in addition, we conduct an annual user satisfaction survey. This survey helps us determine whether there is a need to produce new types of statistical information and what kind of data are the most important for the particular users. These findings are incorporated into our daily activities and operation. We make all research results, reports, and compilations and reports on social and economic sectors publicly available on our website. Our website is www.1212.mn. Then all types of information are available on our the website, Mongolian Statistical Information Service. Then that 5 different kind of persona and all the statistical users easy to access this website, and when they have some difficulty and when they have some issue, some questions, they can feel free to ask our Facebook channel and also the website contact form. Then also, National Statistics Office of Mongolia aim to provide all the data using the website, especially for the decision makers and member of the parliament's prime minister's office and president office. What kind of data, statistical information they need. Promptly we provide the relevant data. Even it's not only the like the working day, and also sometimes someday in case
Basan,
in my country.
I'll have to ask you to wrap up, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
Apologies, we're running out of time, so I'll have to ask you to wrap up your presentation, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is my last slide. You can see the publication of the National Statistics Office of Mongolia. You can see for example, the gross domestic product is the monthly and quarterly. We designate this data, price, and inflation statistics weekly and monthly. We provide to the statistical users. And economic overview, economic security report, and thematic report, and the National Statistics magazine. We provide this publication to the statistical users through to the website. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basan, and apologies once again for having to cut you off. We are a little bit short on time, so I'll have to be a bit stricter with time for our following speakers as well. So apology, and thank you very much for joining and sharing.
Okay,
thank you very much. Next, we have Miss Griselda de Dios, Associate Statistics Officer from ADB, who will share her initiative. Over to you, Griselda.
Thank you. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm Griselda de Dios from ADB's Data Division, and I'm happy to be part of this UN's Around the World in 24 Hours activity in celebration of the 2025 World Statistics Day. And I'm also excited to share how we've seen data can inspire, connect, and empower through the ADB's Key Indicators Cover Design Competition. So here's our story for today. We'll start with a quick look at ADB's Key Indicators publication, then spotlight the cover design competition, its process, impact, and the amazing creativity generated among the contestants. We'll also talk about how we're making data more accessible and engaging, and wrap up with some key takeaways. So the Key Indicators publication initially served as reference for the bank and has evolved into become one of ADB's flagship publication. First published in 1969, imagine over 5 decades of tracking Asia and Pacific's development. You can also see here how the cover progressed over time, each cover telling a story reflecting region's journey and evolving priorities. From the very first edition to today, KI has been a trusted source for regional statistics, helping policymakers and the public understand the bigger picture. So now let's talk about the cover design competition that our data division just organized. So this is our second time to conduct the contest, with the first in 2019. And we also held a data visualization challenge in 2020 to celebrate the World Statistics Day. Our goal is to make data more relatable and spark innovative storytelling through design. For this year's competition, we invited participants to submit their visions, their designs online through the ADB Challenges platform, focusing on the themes like the data-driven development, sustainability, inclusivity, and digital transformation. So the competition ran from April to May, with results announced in June, specifically 11 June. We spread the word through the ADB social media platforms, digital pop-ups, and emails, making sure everyone had a chance to join. Entries were judged on relevance, creativity, visual impact, and how well the narrative statements matched the theme. So the board of judges consisted of 3 experts, one from outside ADB and 2 within ADB. It was actually truly an open and inspiring process. So we received 49 exceptional submissions from across Asia and the Pacific, even from the US, Europe, and Norway. In terms of regional representation, the largest share came from the Southeast Asia with 61.2%. This composed of Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia, and I think that's it. And then followed by the Central Western Asia with 6.1%, and so on and so forth. And then looking at gender, 65.1% of participants identified as male, while 34.9 are identified as female. For the startup names, 41%, we have a good mix of the participants range from students to professionals with a good mix of backgrounds and perspectives. This diversity across geography, gender, experience reflects the inclusive spirit of the competition and reinforces how data and design can bring people together. So let's go to the first place winner. This is through the lens of data. So this design beautifully connects the humanity, the environment, and data using vibrant colors, as shown in the slide. It depicts actually a human face with a glowing globe highlighting Asia and the Pacific. Green tones represent environmental sustainability. Amber tones signify hope and clarity, and the dynamic data lines that as you see in the slide, convey connectivity and information flow. So the design communicates inclusive, sustainable growth by making more complex data accessible and inspiring. So we have 2 winners for the second place. One of the second place winners, the measure of hope. You see that a central human figure rising from supportive hands symbolizes the empowerment through the data and development. And there are also geometric shapes that depict the interconnected indicators such as the economic growth, environmental sustainability.
Priscilla, but I have to ask you to wrap up, please. Thank you.
Sure. So for the another second place, I will no longer explain what is the design, but it is driven by data built by all. And then these are the third place winners. And then, of course, let's not forget our finalists. Their designs explore themes like the data to impact, pathways to progress, and wired for progress. And for the post-competition engagement, we had announcement of winners. The all winners receive prizes. Because every contribution matters, all winners receive prizes, and we have used this as well for our key indicators publication release in August 2025. For beyond the competition, our data division in EDBs are also working hard to make data more accessible using the infographics, videos, and special supplements. We recently included more granular data as it becomes accessible, and ensuring timely release of publications, and we improved the key indicators database, providing easy access to macroeconomic social data for Asia and the Pacific. Our goal is to make data accessible and usable for all. So some just key takeaways. So the competition demonstrated storytelling power, helps communicate complex development narratives. The participants are encouraged to think critically and it gives a platform for creative expression and reinforces the value of data. And of course, inspiring new ways to present data beyond the traditional charts and tables. So let me end this presentation by saying storytelling is a powerful way to communicate complex ideas and connect with people. By encouraging creativity, we help everyone see the value of data, not just numbers, but the stories that drive development and inspire change. So if you'd like to learn more about our knowledge products and capacity building efforts, please visit our ERDD webpage. We'll also share this presentation. And thank you so much. Happy World Statistics Day.
Thank you very much, Cressida, for sharing that very interesting initiative by the bank. As she mentioned, if you want to learn more, please reach out. Next, we have Mr. Ranto Ramananjato, Data and Analytics Managers from UNICEF East Asia and the Pacific, who will share with us his and UNICEF initiative. So over to you.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me and you can see the presentation. I have three
Yes,
components.
perfect.
I will try to stay in the allocated time. So the first initiative I wanted to share with us on this day is the mixed link. So it's a set of approaches and methods to integrate mixed data with data from other sources. So coming back to our discussion earlier on integrated government database, government data catalog. So just think about the survey data being more contextualized with this approach. Also think about mixed data being increasing the analytical power, about reducing respondent. We have spoken so much about this also today, about reducing the quantity of questions in one survey, but also promoting the use of household survey in data, household survey data in sectoral planning and monitoring, and also a way to improve quality and efficiency of the national data ecosystem. So that's his mixed link about. It has started in 2021, and so far we managed to cover 6 countries in the world. The key principle for mixed link is the collaboration with key stakeholders from the beginning, from the consultation designing phase up to the data processing for integration and the analysis and the release of the result. And when I say collaboration, it's not only about involvement of the key stakeholders, especially the Ministry of Education team here, but it's really putting them on the driving seat. So they are the one identifying the key questions to be asked, the key variables to be used, and so on and so forth. So one key specific use case I wanted to share today is in Fiji. So with that approach, we managed to link the mixed data with the EMIS of Fiji, and with that, we managed to calculate the distance from the mixed cluster to the nearest school in the country using the GIS coordinate, and also the link that we managed to have with the EMIS in the country. The second initiative I wanted to talk about on this day is the Mixed Eagle. So again, focusing on education, but this time more to analyze data and also to build global data foundation on education. So on our right, we see the components of the Mixed Eagle. We have 8 components from access completion up to remote learning. And of course, you have the resources in case you want to know more. In terms of the use cases, I wanted to emphasize 3 of them. So one is the in-country and subnational workshops. So once the team has the finding, they go in pairs, the Ministry of Education with the National Statistics Office, to implement workshop and to establish action plans based on the findings. So for instance, in terms of the uses, for Kiribati, we have the revision of the remote learning policy, while for Lao, we have the amendment of the education and sports sector development plan based on the findings from the Mixed Eagle. So the last initiative I wanted to share today is the Mix Plus. So just asking us to imagine an operation that can combine the representativeness, using the sample, the disaggregates based on the socio-demographic characteristic, and the statistical robustness of a household survey with the possibility to report on a real-time base
Sorry,
and the
Duranto, I'll have
possibility.
to ask you to
Last
wrap up.
slide. A possibility also to have a longitudinal to report on a period of time. So that's what is Mix Plus. So here are the country where we have implemented Mix Plus using the household survey from Mix as our sample. And here is the different objectives from the Mix Plus we managed to implement across the world. I have a 2-minute video, but I will not play. It's from the chairman of the statistics office from Mongolia. I will stop my presentation here, but perhaps to check with the team later on if you manage to find some time to play the video. Thank you.
On behalf of the National Statistics Office of Mongolia, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to the United Nations for its 80th year anniversary. We, National Statistics Office, work extensively with the UN and its sister organizations. Among this extensive collaboration, I would like to note our working history with the UNICEF or United Nations Children's Fund. For example, we have been working with the UNICEF in the last 20 more years to produce several surveys, including Mix and Mix Plus surveys. Mix Plus survey, which employs innovative statistical methods and also technology to produce timely and high-frequency data for policymakers, has been shaping the statistical development and also the policymaking in Mongolia in the last few years. For example, during the COVID-19 lockdown, we have worked with the UNICEF to produce high-frequency and timely data to monitor effectiveness of the lockdown on the livelihood of the children and households of the different groups, and also to monitor effectiveness of the e-learning on different children from the different parts of the country. These surveys show the important insights on the progress towards the SDG and also the relative issues during the COVID-19. As a result, the government has opened the schools earlier than expected. So from this, you can see that the surveys we conduct with the cooperation with the UNICEF has really important policy implications. Also, from our working experience and working collaboration with the UNICEF and other UN system organizations, we always end up with having an increased capacity. And for that, I would like to thank and congratulate the United Nations team for assisting the development of the official statistics in Mongolia and promoting the use of the evidence-based decision-making in Mongolia. Lastly, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to our UN colleagues for promoting peace and prosperity in the world for the last 80 years. Thank you.
Thanks again for being so flexible. Finally, we have our last presentation, which is by Ms. Jessica Gardner, Technical Lead on Violence Against Women Data and Research, UNFPA, who will present on the impacts of the No War Data Initiative. Over to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone from Bangkok. I'm honoured to be part of this session on World Statistics Day. And my focus is going to be on demystifying one of the most difficult, sensitive, yet crucial areas for official statistics, and that is measuring violence against women. This is a global issue, but the latest estimates find the highest rates of intimate partner violence are in the Asia-Pacific region. And the challenge is immense. Most violence against women is hidden from view and can be surrounded by fear and stigma. few women decide to seek help or report their experiences, and this means our official administrative data sources are a severe underestimate. This isn't just about a lack of data, it's a lack of voice for survivors. To shed light on these realities and quantify the devastating and costly effects of violence, we need safe ways to collect data and reveal these stories. The only way to estimate the magnitude of this violence is through household surveys. These are risky and complex, but we can do this because of well-designed and widely used methodologies. Collectively, the countries of this region have conducted more than 60 of these surveys, interviewing thousands of women, collecting data that's needed to estimate how many have and are currently experiencing violence. The latest data point is visualised here in UNFPA's annual Violence Against Women regional snapshot. Central to high quality data is a really sharp focus on ethics and safety. And survey implementation in this field is not business as usual. It requires absolute privacy, crisis referral mechanisms, and highly specialised training for interviewers. These interviewers are the single most important component, ensuring safety and the quality of the data that we rely on to drive change. To give you some insight into this challenging and yet rewarding work, here is a short video from one of the most recent surveys in the region last year in Bangladesh.
আসলে এই যে ভায়োলেন্সের যে সার্ভেটা, এটা একটা আমার জীবনের অন্যরকম একটা অভিজ্ঞতা। আমি অনেক ধরনের সার্ভেই করেছি, কিন্তু এটার মতো সার্ভে আমি আসলে কখনোই করি নাই। আমাদের দেশের মেয়েরা যে এত ধরনের ভায়োলেন্সের শিকার হচ্ছে প্রতিনিয়ত, এটা আসলে আমার জানা ছিল না।
One in 3 women across the world have experienced physical and/or sexual violence at least once in their lives. And violence against women remains a widespread global public health crisis and a human rights violation. For nearly 2 decades, there's been global recognition of the critical need for standardized measures to collect data on violence against women. And the 2030 SDG agenda has made monitoring violence against women mandatory.
নারীর প্রতি সহিংসতা এটি বাংলাদেশ পরিসংখ্যান ব্যুরোর খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ একটি সার্ভে। 2011 সালে, 2015 সালে এবং 2024 সালে তৃতীয়বার এই সার্ভেটি পরিচালনা করি। এই 3টি সার্ভের মাধ্যমে বাংলাদেশ দক্ষিণ এশিয়ার মধ্যে এই বিষয়ে একটি পায়োনিয়ার দেশ হিসেবে আত্মপ্রকাশ করেছে।
ভায়োলেন্স এগেইনস্ট উইমেন সার্ভে এটি অন্য 8-10টি গতানুগতিক সার্ভের মতো না, এটি খুবই একটি স্পর্শকাতর সার্ভে। ওয়ার্ল্ড হেলথ অর্গানাইজেশনের যে সেফটি এবং এথিক্যাল স্ট্যান্ডার্ডগুলো আছে সম্পূর্ণভাবে আমরা বিবেচনায় রেখে আমরা এগিয়েছি, যেটা বলে পুটিং উইমেন ফার্স্ট, অর্থাৎ নারীর নিরাপত্তা, স্বার্থ এবং গোপনীয়তা সর্বোচ্চ অগ্রাধিকার দিয়ে আমরা সার্ভেটা করেছি। এর পার্ট হিসাবে আমরা ব্যুরো অফ স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স, মিনিস্ট্রি অফ উইমেন অ্যান্ড চিলড্রেন অ্যাফেয়ার্স এবং ইউএনএফপি এর একটা টিম মাসব্যাপী ইন্টারন্যাশনাল এক্সপার্টদের কাছ থেকে একটা ট্রেনিং গ্রহণ করে কিভাবে এই সার্ভেটা করা যায়। প্রথম আমাদের ফোকাস ছিল আমাদের ন্যাশনাল ক্যাপাসিটি ডেভেলপমেন্ট করা।
UNFPA and the University of Melbourne have collaborated on the NOVA Data Initiative. Funded by the Australian Government, NOVA Data focuses on building the capacity of professionals and researchers to collect data on violence against women.
Thank you. What you've just seen is a powerful example of the value of official statistics happening right now in our region. I encourage you to learn more about by visiting the Noval Data website using the QR code provided on the screen. Here you'll find a wealth of information, including the findings from the Bangladesh survey. With that, I wrap up my short presentation. Thank you for your time, and I pass the microphone back to the ESCAP team.
Thank you very much, Jessica, for that very important presentation. And we will certainly be able to share the full video in our website as well. A big thank you to all speakers for sharing the valuable experience on demystifying data and effectively communicating them to achieve positive changes, really. Next, we have a panel discussion on demystifying data for policymaking, and we're lucky to have inspiring panelists from our region, and I'm even more pleased to have Ms. Rike Mong Hansen, Chief of the Economic and Environment Statistics section of ESCAP Statistics Division, as the moderator for the panel. So without further ado, I'll hand over the floor to you, Rike.
Thank you very much, Roth, and happy World Statistics Day from me to everyone as well. I think it's a testimony to the insightfulness and energy of the statistical community that even with a 24-hour webinar, we're still running behind schedule. But thank you also to all of you who've so far shared your insights. We are going to initiate a panel now on demystifying data for policymaking. And as Roth mentioned, we do have a series of experienced expert panelists for this panel. And while I introduce our panelist, Roth, if you could please launch the first question to the panel, because this question will also be a Mentimeter. So while I introduce our panelists, I encourage the audience to start writing and submitting their responses to what you see on the screen here, namely to share an intervention, a tool, or a moment that made statistics click or somehow feel much simpler for you in your everyday life. So I look forward to seeing what you can come up with and put on the screen. Our panelists for this panel are Mr. Robert Ewing, who is the Program Manager of the Advancing Economic Statistics branch of the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Robert, if you could switch, yes, there I see you. Welcome to the panel. Our second panelist is Mr. Gogita Todradze, who is the Executive Director of the National Statistics Office of Georgia. Wonderful to see you, Gogita. We have Mr. Peter Ellis, Director of the Statistics for Development Division of the Pacific Community. Welcome, Peter. Some of you have seen Peter already in action earlier today, so welcome back. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Rustem Makamadiev Dilshodovich, who is the Deputy Chairman of the National Statistics Committee of the Republic of Uzbekistan. So warm welcome to you, Rustem, as well. Now, the audience have had a chance to reflect a little bit on your first question or task. I only see a few things on the screen yet, but I hope that we'll get more inputs as you start sharing your thoughts on this. And I'll give you all just 30 seconds to come up with some kind of tool, moment, innovation that somehow made statistics much clearer to you. And I'll ask you in the order that I have introduced you. So Robert, please, you have the floor first.
Thank you very much, Ricky, and thank you, for the invitation to be part of this panel, and thank you to everyone involved in setting this up today. For me at university, macroeconomic statistics really were just labels on graphs that we'd think about changes in price levels on graphs, and you never really thought about the statistics that were being published about it. But then I started working in the Australian Government Treasury, introducing a value-added tax, and that's when statistics really clicked, because I suddenly saw that statistics were about driving decisions, that the information that was being published by the ABS was eagerly awaited and directly influencing the decisions that were being made about implementing our value-added tax. And seeing that really made me understand the value and the critical role of national statistics.
Thank you very much, Robert. And I think several of us can nod to that experience, that it's when you really see the use of things that it becomes clear. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Gogita, please.
Thank you, Ricky. Hello, everyone. On behalf of GeoStat, I am truly delighted to participate in this important event dedicated to the celebration of the World Statistics Day. So my statistics click moment happened at the very beginning as a census interviewer going door to door during my university years. That's when I discovered something profound. Every number has a human story behind it. Statistics suddenly transformed from abstract figures in textbooks to real people, real lives, and real meaning. That's field experience, listening to families, recording their stories, made me realize that statistics is not just about numbers. It's about understanding society and empowering better decisions for people. From that first knock on a door to know leading Geostat, that human connection has remained at the heart of everything I do in statistics now.
Thank you very much, Gogita. And indeed, walking around a bit as an enumerator once in a while would do wonders, I think, of also sharing understanding of our work with everyone. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's move on to Peter.
Yes, thank you very much, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Mine is a little bit different. For me, the thing which really clicked and made me see the world of data quite differently was actually the concept of tidy data, which the statistician Hadley Wickham introduced in an article about 10 years ago. And he had this idea that all tidy data is the same, but each untidy data set is untidy in its own way. And he set out ways that, just in terms of how you think about the columns and the rows. And this just really blew my mind at the time. It suddenly made things a lot more consistent. I could understand things across tools, that this great variety of data sets that you're looking at, you could look through this one lens and turn them into much more usable things to add value in however you're going to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm thinking pattern recognition listening to you there. Thanks for that, Peter. To Rustem, please, to share your click moment.
Colleagues, thank you for the nice introduction and for this question. So for me, it was a very simple moment when I saw the press releases and social media posts of the National Statistics Office. So this is moment when I could really easily get what the Statistics Office wanted to say about, I don't know, GDP, inflation, and so on. Because if you go to the tables, or to the website, it's very birdy in some way. It's very complicated tables sometimes, but when it's social media posts, it's very down-to-earth language, very easily digestible information. So that was aha and very, let's say, clicking moment for me.
Thank you for sharing that, Rustem. And I fully agree with you that the good press releases, they certainly do theirs to get the numbers sort of out there in the public for everyone to understand at a much deeper level. I'll just see if we have Arista with us. Arista, you are on the list, but it still seems that you are on mute. Can you try to unmute your microphone? Okay, it seems to not be possible. Arista, you may want to try to leave the meeting and rejoin if you cannot find a way. That sometimes helps. And I think meanwhile, we will move on. I'm just looking at the screen in terms of the statistics click moment of our audience. And there's definitely a lot about visualization and storytelling that some of you were focusing on. A lot about GIS and R, infographics, forecasting, etc. So I think that resonates quite well with me and also with what we've just so far heard from our panelists. So we will move on to the next round of questions as we are a little bit behind time, and then hopefully we'll manage to hear from our fifth panelist a little bit later. And as you write there, Peter, yes, R and GIS are the winners of that particular Mentimeter. So let's move on to the second question after this quick warming up question. And this again is a bit of a task to share your experiences. So what I would like to hear from all of you is to share how your organization has worked to make statistics more accessible and useful for policymakers. And if you could delve a little bit into what or which approaches have worked the best. Now, in the lead up to this session, I had given you each 3 minutes for this question, but I'm going to cut it to 2, and hopefully you can manage that on the spot. I will ask you in the same order as I asked you for the first question. So, Robert, you have the chance, the luck to go first again. The floor is yours.
Thanks. So this is one of the core areas the ABS is focusing on. We want to make a strategic shift about being more proactive, client-centric, and providing higher value to clients. One really important part of this is designing what we produce in partnership with policymakers and key stakeholders. Statistics such as our environmental economic accounts are designed in partnership with the relevant agencies, such as the Environment Department. And that ensures our statistics are fit for purpose from day one. And by understanding the client needs, we're in a better position to prioritise the order in which new features are added. Another good example is our recent decision to end the retail trade survey and replace it with a big data alternative. We worked incredibly closely with the core stakeholders within government to make sure that they understood and supported the new approach, and that we designed our new publication, our monthly household spending indicator, in a way that maximised the value to them. We also worked really closely with the private sector users of the retail trade survey, so they were ready for the change. And that brings me to one last critical part about how we make our statistics accessible and useful, which is communication. Our communications have an audience-centred approach, and we try and use plain language to explain our data and make it accessible, not just to stakeholders, but the general public. And we had some great work on this through that monthly household spending indicator, which I'm cutting my dot points on, Ricky, to keep to your 2 minutes. But things like doing videos on LinkedIn are new approaches for us, but we found to be a really good way of engaging the audience and explaining things. And if I can just come back to what Rustam mentioned before, the power of social media in communicating statistics and the value of statistics, and also that human element that Gagita mentioned, that these are statistics which are about people doing things in their real lives, and social media is an incredibly engaging way of doing that. And we have a fantastic social media team here at the ABS who are very creative in finding that way to engage. You wouldn't think that a post about a fluffy penguin would be the way to get statistics up and running, but that's the way to go.
Okay, I'll be searching for your penguin after this session is over. Yeah, thanks very much for sharing that, Robert. And yes, communications, definitely, everyone knows how important that is. I make a note also of this involvement of stakeholders in change when we do changes. It is such that when we talk about government or policymakers as stakeholders, many of them are also very important data providers. So that makes a lot of sense to get them on board in these processes for enhanced use of the final products. Let's move on to Gogita, please.
Thank you, Ricky. Perhaps we can all agree that official statistics are an indispensable element of any democratic society's information system, serving governments, policymakers, and the broader public. Statistics are essential not only for designing informed policies, but also for monitoring their outcomes and impacts, right? However, a critical challenge remains data literacy, the ability to understand, analyze, and make decisions based on data. At Geostats, one of our top priorities is making official statistics accessible, understandable, and practically useful for all users, particularly policymakers who rely on data for evidence-based decision-making. How are we achieving this? First, through capacity building. We regularly organize training sessions, workshops, and information sessions for government representatives and other stakeholders as well. These initiatives strengthen data literacy, improve understanding of statistical methodologies, and promote the effective use of official statistics. Second, through innovation in data dissemination, Geostat continuously modernizes its tools and applies cutting-edge technologies, including infographics, short explanatory videos, interactive data visualization, and targeted social media outreach. Our goal is to transform data from abstract numbers into clear, engaging, and actionable insights, Third, through digital platforms. Over the past few years, Geostat has developed approximately 25 interactive online portals and thematic portals designed to make statistical data more open, accessible, and user-friendly. Recent examples include the Energy Statistics Portal, Population Census Portal, Statistics Portal for Children's and Youth, for kids and teenagers, and the Vehicle Statistics Portal. And today I'm pleased to announce that the launch of new platform, the Environmental Statistics Portal. We will have a presentation after a couple of hours today. So this addition further expands access to critical data and supports informed decision-making across diverse sectors. So these efforts reflect our commitment to not only producing high-quality statistics, but ensuring they reach and serve those who need them most. By bridging the gap between data producers and data users, we empower better governance and stronger evidence-based policies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gita, and especially hearing that you're about to launch the environment statistics platform that is music to my ears, given my most recent visit to Georgia was indeed to look into your environment statistics, and we did have that as one of the recommendations. So I'm very happy that you're moving full speed ahead with this. Let's move on, and I understand also that we have our fifth panelist also having now a microphone working, which is very good, but I'll stick to the orders just so that Arista has a little chance to prepare, and that means that we will hear from Peter now. You have the floor, please.
Great, no, thanks. And on this question of what we've done to make things accessible and useful for policymakers, I think the first step, which we probably all take for granted, is you need to have the full range of the means of dissemination in the different media, which go all the way from reports and static websites with the numbers, through to a microdata library where people can access the microdata, indicators, tools where you can flexibly interact with that and dashboards and things of that sort. So that sort of stuff is essential because different types of users are going to need different levels of access to that sort of data. But obviously in itself, that's not enough. And just to highlight a few of the things which we have tried, one we're particularly proud of is the Pacific Data Viz Challenge, which is basically we've choose a policy relevant theme such as climate change or gender, and basically let the crowd do its thing and find ways to use the data that will move them. And we've had amazing things, beautiful games which have been made, amazing metaphors with beautiful infographics as shells with data coming off it, or the use of soundscapes. And this is a way that we can put some of the work of what's going to work to communicate with people onto other people. The second thing is like really traditional. It's almost like a consultancy type engagement where you work with users on, well, what's your particular challenge you have? And the thing we've done a lot with this is work with national planners who are trying to redevelop, say, the national development plan for their country. And it's really saying, well, these are the statistics that are available for your questions. How can we help you? What are the good indicators? How do you make a baseline and so on? So that's great, but it doesn't really scale up. And the third thing which we'll say that we've done with some success is to get around the challenge that we all have as official statistics producers is we don't want to get too involved in the policy debate, but we've found a few times we can team up with a policy organization or a policy agency, let them make the case on the controversial policy stuff. We produce like a more factual report, maybe help them navigate their way through the statistics, but like step back, maybe have separate reports or at least separate sections in a report to talk about here's the statistics and here's a policy discussion. But again, that doesn't really scale up. So what you really need is that solid foundation, which means that some of those small things which you can do, the more custom crafted engagement can maybe form examples for other people who will take it up on their own right. But I think this is a great question and a really difficult one to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. And thanks also so far to all of you for sticking to the reduced time. I really do appreciate that. Peter, thanks for outlining this actually quite long list of activities or span that goes from having a statistical product all the way to someone actually using it for something. It's definitely not something that can be answered in very simplistic terms. Rustem, let us move to you to hear your reflections on this question, please.
Thank you, Ricky. So 2 points from my perspective on this question, how we can make it more accessible and useful for the stakeholders and users. So the first one I will echo Peter is dissemination. I think this is key to make it as effective as possible. For that, you have digital tools, which also Gagita mentioned, and I think we should really press on this. We have some progress in this area. We have recently launched, recently is maybe a couple of years, a website, a data portal where you could get in very clean and streamlined way all the data which National Statistics Office, almost all of the data which it produces, and without distractions, you could build your tables and extract it as efficiently as possible. But we also recognize that there are some limitations. There is the need to make it even more accessible, even more easily digestible, and also add visualization tools to make graphs and so on. So for this, we are engaging our international partners like ADB and others, also international consultants who could help us build a better website and also unify sometimes a bit maybe disintegrated databases and data sources into one unified one-stop shop for all the national statistics. This is about dissemination and through digital tools, and also, of course, AI. AI is here, and it's also very important for statistics job. We are working on AI bots like analysts and some another bot who could also advise on the data when you visit websites. So this is a work in progress. Another point which is currently relevant for Uzbekistan is the census. So we're preparing for the population and agricultural census in Uzbekistan in 2026. It will run in January and February. It is the first population census since 1989 and the first ever agricultural census in Uzbekistan. So this is very important and valuable exercise for all the policy stakeholders, I mean the government and ministries and agencies, because it will produce a lot of data which they're interested in. So they maybe didn't realize this until recently, but when we started to explain how important this and how it would affect and give you exact numbers and very accurate data about the status of population and demography, agriculture, and so on. So they realize it and they become our very strong supporters and partners. So 2 points from me on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rostam. And I think it's important to make a note of the fact that big statistical exercises such as an agricultural census are also opportunities to engage or re-engage different types of stakeholders to already at the outset involve also their demands in terms of survey or census design, etc. And engage them throughout the process. Thank you very much for those thoughts. All right, well, you're doing very well, but we are still behind time. What to do? We'll have to make the last round a very speedy round. We have 5 minutes left, and that means if I give each one of you 1 minute, with a little luck, we'll just make it. Let us just try to do the other way around here for the last round of questions. And it is really your opportunity to be the teachers today in this webinar, because I'll be asking you for a piece of advice to the participants listening into this session. What is your advice in terms of helping the NSOs to better engage stakeholders in the use of statistics? What would you give as the prime piece of advice? So Rustem, you're up first. Each of you have a minute. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Ricky. So my advice would be to put the data user at the center stage. So we should focus on the user, why he or she may need the data and how she or he will use it. So if we put the user at the center, it will make a more logical, more, better decisions and solutions from our end. If we think otherwise, I think the traditional, we produce data, we produce very complex tables, we put it somewhere deep in the website, somewhere deep in our databases, and we don't care about the users. That will produce inefficiencies and endless questions and miscommunication or misunderstanding about why statistics produce this data or how to use it.
That's excellent advice. Thank you very much, Rustem. And now I'm just trying to get my order right. We move on to Peter, please.
Yes, great. And makes it a bit easier because I'm going to say very similar to Rustem, which is basically my advice would be ask who your stakeholders are, what they want, and how they want to get it. And so taking that step back and saying who they are, meaning not just like public servants and ministers and those government decision makers, that's too easy to focus on. They're important, but also community organizations, researchers, opposition politicians, parents, voters. These are all people who've got decisions. We want to be informed by data. Think about all those people. Then ask, well, what is it they want? What are their enduring information needs? Ideally, in fact, you would ask them and work out that, use that as the basis for a gap analysis, what it is you need to present. And then, of course, that third question, how do they want to get it? What makes sense for them? And it's going to be quite different for, say, a researcher than for a minister or their advisor or indeed a voter. And so, yes, who are these people? What do they want? And how do they want to get it? Thank you.
Very nicely put, Peter. Gogita, it's your turn.
So, thank you. Strengthening stakeholder engagement begins with fostering a data literate society, right? For official statistics to be widely understood and effectively used, we must promote statistical literacy among citizens, among policymakers and institutions alike. NSO should not only disseminate this data but also educate users, helping them interpret and apply statistics responsibly. This requires continuous dialogue, regular user satisfaction surveys, and targeted training sessions. Partnerships with educational institutions and government agencies can promote evidence-based decision-making from an early age. Communication is equally vital. Complex tables and technical reports, while important, are not always sufficient. We must enhance accessibility through modern dissemination tools, making data clear, engaging, and actionable. Finally, credibility depends on our commitment to transparency, independence, and quality. By maintaining open communication and producing internationally comparable data, NSOs strengthen public trust and confidence. Thank you very much. And all the colleagues, congratulations on World Statistics Day. May our shared commitment to quality data continue driving positive change for society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gogita. And Robert, you get the final word here.
Thank you very much. So in the spirit of cutting our remarks down, I think one of the things we really need to do is to stay relevant and stay flexible. Stakeholders are in a rapidly evolving environment. Their needs evolve rapidly. National statistics should, of just natural consequence, be somewhat conservative, but we have to evolve with our stakeholders. We have to make sure that we're responding to their needs today, not their needs in the past. And so staying relevant, staying flexible, and making sure that we're doing the right things is a really critical part of making sure that your NSO is delivering what the stakeholders across the economy and the world need from that NSO. And thank you for that, and happy World Statistics Day to everybody.
Thank you so much, Robert. And I can conclude then saying that we have now we can conclude that 4 times 1 minute equals 6 minutes. And with that, I'll not even try to summarize because we are a little bit behind, but I really appreciate your inputs during this panel discussion, and also thank my colleague Roth for having done all the hard work in terms of designing it. So, so with all that, another happy World Statistics Day from me, and it's back to Roth, or maybe to Rachel, the director of the Statistics Division. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Roth. Thank you, Ricky, and thank you to all our panelists. Indeed, thank you to all our participants as well. So we've heard a lot from different countries across the region, but that's really not where the dialogue ends today. And you can continue the dialogue by joining the global network of data officers and statisticians. And we're going to show a short video on that now. Thank you.
This World Statistics Day, we celebrate 5 years of the global network and the power of data to shape our future. 5 years ago, on World Statistics Day, we launched the global network of data officers and statisticians. Since then, it has grown into a vibrant community of thousands of experts around the world. Through webinars and exchanges, the global network has brought us together to share knowledge on topics from climate change and health to migration, innovation, and the Sustainable Development Goals. It is built on 4 pillars: connection, coordination, collaboration, and capacity development. The 4 C's that drive our work. For many, the global network is more than a platform. It is a space to connect with colleagues across regions, to exchange best practices, and to strengthen the role of statistics in building a better future. Now, as we celebrate 5 years of progress, we invite you to be part of this journey. Join our global network of data officers and statisticians by subscribing to our newsletter and joining our LinkedIn group to learn about opportunities ahead. Engage with colleagues worldwide. Together, we make statistics matter for everyone, everywhere.
So as we close the Asia and Pacific segment of our Global World Statistics Day celebration, we really carry with us, I think, an image of a diverse, dynamic, and completely united region. So I'm just going to turn my own camera off so you can see the whole room, to see that I am not alone and that I actually have an amazing team who have been working behind the scenes and in front of the scenes to make sure that we could actually arrange this whole webinar today. We've heard many inspiring stories, many initiatives. We've heard songs, and we've seen some dances. So to every presenter, to every participant, but also to my team here, a huge thank you. Thank you for your energy, for your insights, for getting up very early in the morning, but also for your ongoing commitment to making data count. The celebration continues though in Bangkok, as you probably, I'm not sure if you can quite see on the screen, but we will be enjoying our World Statistics Day with cake and snacks. But also for those who've joined this segment online, we're going to now move from Asia and Pacific to the Economic and Social Commission for Western Asia, ESCAP, to share their own stories, innovations and voices, and to join this truly global celebration. So I'm going to now hand over to Wafa Abul Hassan at ESCAP, and she's also leads on their statistics work. Please also to all the participants, use the link shown also on UNSD website if you want to carry on and join the next segment of the global celebration. Do please carry on and join the celebrations. Let's keep using data to build a better world together. And from Asia and Pacific, happy World Statistics Day.